Nicky, a good group of Potter Group horses to go to all with this season. Let's start off with Wow Saint, a horse who was a pretty smart hurdler, 3 wins from 9 starts, so still unexposed. What's the plan for him this season?
Well, I think his hurdling days are done, to be fair, and the handicap has probably sort of reasonably caught up with him. But physically, he's done very well again, and we've always had it in our mind that one day he was going to make it into a high-class chaser, and I think it's time to go and get on with the proper job. And I think and hope he could be very good at it.
Do you feel he could be even better over fences?
I do. I mean, he ran. We probably stretched his stamina a little bit into Potem's final. He'd won his qualifier very impressively, and the obvious thing was to have a crack at the final. I actually thought he had a great chance, but probably didn't quite stay. So we'd be novice chasing over sort of 2.5, I would think. Certainly start at 2.5 and see if he needs to move up.
We saw Dr. Dina this morning. She's a nice-looking, big, strong chestnut filly. She won a bumper at Sutherland, and then you went straight over hurdles with her at Ludlow over 2.5. So you're not messing around with her. You clearly feel she's a filly that has got lots of stamina.
I don't say she went any further than that. It's a pity the season came to an end, because otherwise she'd have gone on for, she'd have got 2 more runs in and a lot more experience. She'd probably have won. But she'd still have been a novice then, even if she had. But she's a novice hurdler, and there's a great novice hurdle series, lots of races. So, I think she's slotted now. She's strong. She's quite a masculine filly, if you like, and she's very straightforward. She jumps well. She jumped a fence one day. But no, I think she's made for it, and I think she's got a big future.
You've always done pretty well with your fillies and mares. Do you feel this filly, does have the potential to go sort of quite high up?
You'd hope so. Yeah, I mean she can only improve with a bit of age, which she's getting. And I say it was a pity the season ran out, because I have no doubt she'd have won a novice at the back end anyway. But that's hope to just sort of just have to wait a bit, and we'll make up for lost time.
Let's talk about Patroclus, a horse who was purchased at Cheltenham in March, having just narrowly been beaten in an Irish point-to-point.
I loved him, and I love I like what I saw in the point-to-point as well. Yes, I mean they don't have to win. Fun enough, it's you very often find the second or the third turns out to be the best horse in the race. It's by Scirocco. Big horse, but I think he's a gorgeous horse. He covers some ground, and he just looks the part. He came back here after the sale. I did one little bit of work with him and sent him home quickly, and I'd seen enough. I didn't need to see any more. I think he's gorgeous.
So where might we sort of see him start off for the Potter Group?
He started a novice hurdle. He doesn't look slow. I mean, it certainly won't be over 3 miles, that's for certain. I don't think I'd bother with a bumper. Well, he hasn't really been in long enough this term to sort of see what he can do. But, he does everything very, very nicely. I just think he's a very impressive horse. And I hope he's as good as I think he is.
Mo, a real impressive looking son of the top French sire Marteline, unraced. What can you tell us about him?
Well, he was very, very weak last year. To be fair, he was in 2 bits. The front and the end weren't joined up in the middle, and he was very big. To be fair, I mean, it was good education. If the season had gone on, he might have had a run in a bumper, but I think it was probably a blessing that he didn't. He wasn't really ready for it. But it was good education. It wasn't, it was time well spent, because it means that he comes into this year all dressed up with somewhere to go, I hope. But as I say, I think it was probably a blessing that he didn't get a run last season, because he was very, very immature. I mean, some of these Martelines, they come to hand very quickly. If it was trained in France, actually he'd have had 10 runs by now. But it's funny how they start their whole life completely differently, and consequently they come to hand quicker. But of course they won't last very long either. So it's probably better doing it this way, and hopefully he'll last a long time, because he's a lovely big horse. And, he showed us plenty of ability, but he just didn't need to do any more than we did. So he's a bit unknown, but he's done very well now physically. Just needed that summer out They all had got on some great grass. So, no, looking forward to him. I mean, he's a lovely horse, as you say. He's a top star, very well bred. So I think there's a lot to look forward to.